There we go. Let's turn that dude off. Howdy, folks. My name's Dave. I'm a woodturner, and I'm struggling with a light bulb. There we go. And I started this channel to become a better demonstrator, a better teacher, better woodturner myself. I believe very firmly that practice is the secret sauce. And I really enjoy helping turners of all skill levels become more efficient with their tools and their tool skills. So thanks for joining me. I started last night working on some urchin ornaments and some regular turned ornaments. I've got a couple of 4-inch bowls here that they're twice turned. So, well, here, let's just do this. And maybe a little more light for that. Sort of, kind of. Anyway, got a bunch of little maple bowls here. They were turned green, left thick so that they could dry and do all their movements. And now I'm going to return them. So I've got my little jam chucks here set up so I can retrue the outsides of these because they've all gone at least a little bit oval, some more than others. This one definitely has gone oval. This one just a little bit, but it is definitely gone oval. So you want to true these up and then finish the bowls. So that's where I'm starting tonight. Now for, I think I got that too low, didn't I? There we go. And I think that's, there. That might help a little bit as far as being able to see that on camera without all the glare. All right, so most of these bowls have got, I had turned where I thought I would have the foot sit. They're all turned that way. This one, however, really went oval, and so that foot's going to be a lot smaller. So I can do all the other bowls in the Vic Mark chuck, which I want to do. But this one, I'll have to use this chuck for the whole thing. So I'm just going to true them all up first, and we'll just keep on trucking through. Normally, I would use some sort of material in here, leather, whatever. I don't have. I guess I could cut a smaller piece. That might help, but it doesn't really matter too much. The main reason for the padding or the shelf liner or whatever leather in there is so that there is still a grip on on your jam piece here, and you put the fabric, well, leather or shelf liner, whatever you use, and then that over the top of it, and that provides a little cushion between this rim here and the inside of the bowl, and helps mitigate any kind of markup in there. But at this point, these have only been turned once. They're going through their second turning now, so it doesn't matter to me if there is marks in the bottom of the bowl because I'm going to turn them out. And the other issue is that the larger pieces I have of leather will be just flopping around there, and that I might cut them up a little bit with the tools, and I would rather not do that. Let's see, I think maybe if I go here, let's try that. So really I'm trying to get right now the two widest points to meet or to be the same distance away from the tool rest, I should say. And then try to work on turning it up from there. It's not perfectly round, and that edge, the wider edges here, are going to come into contact with the tool first. Okay, so this got to go down a little bit before I get to the other diameter, which is, smaller. So it makes more sense to true up on this. And that's really close. Let's see how it looks when it's drive in here. All right, that's not bad. I think I'm going to bring just a little bit more light down. And since it's behind the camera, hopefully it won't really mess up what you get to see. So I'm just going to chew up the outside, finalize any shape, and then sand it. I'm going to have to cut this foot to be able to fit into this chuck. Then I'll have to flip it around, do the inside so my wall thickness is even, and then on this one I'll have to flip it around one more time because I need that mass there, even though it's not, 3/16 of an inch. I still need that enough of that to hold on to in this particular chuck. And you can see the chuck marks from this chuck right there. So yeah, it's going to be smaller than I would be able to use in the Vic mark, which with the other five bowls, I should be fine. So working on making it round. I'm going to take that down. Well, maybe not. A little bark inclusion there, but there's no crack associated with it, and it will take up the whole rim though, so I may have to do that. These are just nice little gift bowls, finger bowls, whatever. I've got them because I do have some holiday art markets that I have been invited to. So I am making a few extra things to put on the shelves there or in those places. Shouldn't have done that. Well, that still gave me a good grip though. I should have left that parallel instead of putting a dovetail in it, but I jumped ahead and went to, well, part of it is, being used to use a certain chuck, I guess, and got into that habit, but also just had the finished shape, ready to go in my brain. Went, oh, okay, let's do that. So I'll slow down just a bit. All right, so that one's finished. We'll just keep moving through all the bowls until all of them have been trued up. And then I can take this guy out, put this one bowl in this chuck before I take the chuck off. Trying to do this in a literate, semi-logical fashion. Since I have this set up now, it doesn't make sense to do that first bowl and flip it twice and then put everything back and then try. So I'm just doing them in an order like this. I think that is going to be the fat side and that's going to be the fat side. So let's see. They are really close. So I'm going to run with that. think I also need to lower my tool rest a bit, since I'm using a bull gouge to, excuse me, to true this up. I think that's about right. Let's see. A little low. And we'll go with it since we're doing pull cuts here. A little low is not bad. So, as always, thanks for joining me. If you have an interest in picking up one of my pieces, you can go to my website, which is in the bio. I can tell, I'll type it in here to the chat. Or if you're in the area and you want to visit galleries, Twist and Fish Gallery in Elk Rapids and Charlevoix Circle of Arts Gallery. We'll be hosting pieces. Oh, and Crooked Tree and okay, Charlevoix Circle of Arts is in Charlevoix, and Crooked Tree Art Center. The Tulsa branch. We have pieces in that holiday market. That's odd. What's going on there? Is it this? It is. Oh, okay. That's as low as I can go. Time to swap tool rests. We'll go with this guy since I need to be a little bit lower, and this brake handle gets in the way of the tool post if it's too long. So I like to have my tool rest height set for my bowl gouge where it's all the way open, the flute is all the way open, the handle is parallel to the ground. I want the tip of that to be at center. Just my style. I think this, well, I may need to get a new, you know what, let's get a, I was thinking about getting a sharper tool, but let me see how. Okay, I see I need some more light. Sorry folks, this is definitely going to wash it out. See about moving this guy, and maybe even, there we go. Yep, time for me to swap out tool steels or sharpen this one. Since I have some already sharp, I will step over here and grab one. Let's see, how about this guy? That'll work. Got in the habit of having several of a particular tool I'm going to use for demonstrations or whatever, to have several steels already sharp, just in case I'm at a location and there's no access to a grinder. That'll do. Let's see, I can take this down. I have to anyway, so I can true this foot up. And actually on this one, I can actually get away with finishing off the foot, since I do have a bit more of 10 in here. That'll work. So the interesting thing I found about bowls is that it doesn't really matter how big or how small it is. Well, I guess, okay, I can't say anything over 3 feet. I haven't turned anything over that. But actually, personally, I haven't turned anything over 25 inches. That was quite a ride on this lathe anyway. I had to turn it outboard. Because this has only got a 14-inch swing, or it says it's got a 14-inch swing. In practice, it's 13 and a half. But there we go. Time to get a new piece of abrasive as well. Let's see. Where did you go? Do I need to pull out a new one? 400, 600, 220. There you go. Come on now. Okay, let's see. Got sidetracked by the need for sandpaper, so I apologize. I lost my place in my brain. I was just saying something, and I don't recall what that might be. There we go. So this one now will have to go in this chuck, unfortunately. Wait. No. Actually, okay. Well, I already had it out of center, so I'll have to fiddle to get it back, but at the very bottom of that bowl, okay, so the very bottom of the actual foot of the bowl, I'll indent that a little bit. I put a little curve on it, but I can change that feature so I can actually hold it in this chuck. I guess it's not super duper important, but it lets me get rid of this mass. Well, got really close. I'm going to try to get it right on because I don't want to make no tool marks on this surface. There we go. So I just need to change this feature. I'm just giving it a slight dovetail. And I'll have to clean that up a little bit. There we go. Oh, half what just dropped. Oh, that bowl. All right, let's move this abrasive out of the way. There we go. Okay. So now I can get rid of this mass. And I can pretty much finish the bottom I'll have just a little bit, just a tiny bit of sanding to do to get this tendon out of here. I like putting those detail marks in. Now I should be able to cut that little tendon off with just this guy without marring up the bottom. Groovy. So now that will be just, excuse me, a wee bit of sanding for that guy. I now can finish the whole inside now and not have to worry about flipping it around again to clean that off. Though I suppose I could, but I have nothing to hold on to without, and it would leave a mark, I'm afraid. So let's get this guy fairly well centered. Let's see, I think that could be the foot on this one. So let's set this up to be able to take that larger chuck. Oh, now I kind of remember what I was trying to talk about. Pretty much doesn't matter the size of bowl. They all seem to take about the same amount of time. All right, I like that shape. That fall too. It looks like my, nope, just had it covered with a bowl. There we go. Let's see what. Look, oh my! So there's a crack that goes all the way down into there. All right, this one is done. That's a bummer. Oh well. That's why I turned them green. Let's double check this guy. Well, I might be able to do something with that. We'll see. It doesn't look like this particular crack here goes all the way through, so maybe trim that up to be all right. Didn't see that other one, but it may have closed. Excuse me, closed up on the outside. Yeah, the rest look okay. But we will find out. All right, let's take a look at this here. This one didn't oval out so much, but just a little bit. A little bit deeper finger bowl. Let's see. I know that's going to fit in the chuck, so we'll just use that as the final fret. Just a little bit of flare inward. And that'll be the foot for that one. I love this. That's why I love working with sharp tools, man. The finish on that's already really, really nice. Oh, I'm gonna have to take more off or do something about this. Yeah, let's take some more off. Let's see how far that goes. A little bit there. And I won't be able to take off too much because I still need to remove some from the inside. But yeah, nope, that crack does in fact go all the way down. So that one's a done deal. Okay. Might be able to use well, I don't know, we'll see. Them's the brakes, man, when you do twice turn. Some don't make it. Nature of the beast. Okay, I can go down a little bit more this way. So I know we'll make that new foot. A little bit of shear scraping. Use that again, I can. So far, 2 out of 6 bowls. Now the branch that I took these from was a little bit further up the trunk of the branch that I did the last 6 from. The last 6, all of those survived. So you can have variations in your timber, I mean in the same tree. That's why I say it's Christmas every time I get to crack one open. Let me sand that too. Because you never really know what's inside. I mean, sometimes you can have the suspicion, depending on, you know, what clues you can get from looking either at the end of the log or the outside if the bark's gone, what have you. Let's double check the size of that one. I'm not totally sure about that. Nope, that'll have to go in that one there with this guy. Oh, so that's 3 out of 6 done. This one I'm not sure. It started cracking before before I set it out to dry, and I tried to fill these cracks. So this one may not survive. We'll see. Just has such nice features on it. So I'm at least giving it a shot to save it anyway. All right. Let's see how this one does. I'll just cut really heavy. Let's see what that does for me. Yeah, not much. This crack kept going even after I. Well, that's a bummer. Maybe I can possibly, I don't know. The features in this are just really cool. So I'm gonna try to save this guy for something else. Maybe a part of the stand or something. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I may wind up turning it into a hybrid resin and wood. Who knows? I don't know. So I'll set that one aside. Don't need my tailstock. All right. What was the first one? That was the first one. So now I just need to true up the inside of this. And I'll just sand that bottom maybe. Yeah, I think I'll just sand that bottom. Okay, I may need to move the tailstock back further yet. Be sort of. All right, dudes, y'all are gonna have to move somewhere else. That'll work for now. Got to swing this handle, and it's tailstock getting in the way of me trying to swing it around. So maybe that might be a good viewpoint. And I think I'll go a little bit thinner with this guy. Not bad. All right. Is that tall enough? No. So I really don't want to sand the inside if I can avoid it. So I'm using a negative edge scraper, very, very light touch. Just pulling little angel hairs off of it. And all these little shavings. And that'll do. Nice. I will take and chamfer the edges so they're not so sharp. And there we have it. I just need to sand the bottom, and that's a done bowl. So that's 1 out of 3. I'm down to 3 now. No, this guy was going in the other chuck, so we'll grab this one. Yeah, I'll have to flip that around again, won't I don't know why I didn't do anything with that. You know, I haven't done this edge, so what I can do, if this will fit, Probably not. So I guess I'm swapping chucks a little early. Try to do things in order. Let's see, key. Who's got the key? There it is. Let's see if this will fit in here. If it will, I can turn that bottom and then flip this around in the chuck and be able to clean off any marks that the chuck makes, because I haven't done this edge yet. I probably just took that out of camera, so yeah, I haven't done this edge yet at all. So any damage by the chuck I should be able to clean off pretty easily. I know it's not going to be, I'll have to adjust it to where it is. You know, that's really close. I'm going to leave it to where it is. That's the rim itself is not flat. So setting it into the chuck could be a little dicey. I don't know that you can see this. Oh no, come on now. Sorry, one moment, I dropped a drill bit and I think it may have wound up in my trash can, and that's not a good place for that drill bit. Let's see. Nope, it didn't. Very good. Groovy. So back to this. There's almost a 1/16 of an inch. Oh, there is a 1/16 of an inch gap between the rim and the jaws right there. That one looks like it's touching. There's a 1/16 inch right there, and so I got really lucky there first go. But hey, I'll take that. A little too high now. Good, nicely concave. Let's see, a little bit of that action. Just a touch of detail. All set. Cool. And since I have this chuck up here, I might as well go ahead and do this one so that I don't have to change the chuck out again. So hope you all enjoying your week so far. It hasn't been like today was the first sunny day in a couple of days. I think let's see, starting back, where are we at now? Wednesday? So it rained Sunday. On and off kind of. It was nice and chilly. And then Monday, it was even colder, and we got a little bit of surprise rain out here. And yesterday was kind of the same thing, man. But it was a warmer day today, and I think it's supposed to hit 70 tomorrow. Which is, I don't know, I just find it crazy because it's the middle of October. So I'm eyeballing the thickness. I just kind of picked it up with all the practice. So I'm assuming that other people can do this too. I know Rudy Lopez does it a lot. But I find it a really handy skill to be able to follow an outside curve on the inside. So the wall thickness now is even. And that is not a bad surface, but let's get rid of those tool marks. What little there is of them. And I think maybe make it a little bit thinner. Looks mighty good. Nice even thickness. I'm all set. Let's see, I need to chamfer the edges. And I will sand the rim a little bit. Oop, wrong key. Very cool. All right, nice looking bowl. Almost got the X in the middle, I don't know, the holy grail of turners, I guess. I've heard about it a lot. Okay, set that one aside. This guy wouldn't fit in there, right? What did I need to do with this guy? I don't recall. Oh, I needed to use the other chuck. But since I had this one, we can now get rid of this one. Go back to the other one. Anyway, just trying to do things in a logical progression. You know, taking lessons from production turners and some production work that I've done. You know, you try to streamline stuff. If you got a lot, or you know, you got several of the similar or same whatever things to do, you want to kind of, you know, set it up to where you do all of one thing, and then you can just make one switch, do all of another thing, and then make another switch and maybe finish everything or whatever, you know, just do it all in a line. That's how I like to do it anyway. Most of the time. Sometimes I get just wild ideas in my head and I take a little sidetrack and let's get that key out of the way. Work on something else for a minute. So this is now too high. That should be right there. Yep. Okay. Now let's make sure. Okay, no cracks. Right. Very good, very good. Tiny little crack right there. Okay. go. So always remember when you're using a scraper, you want the cutting edge to be meeting the surface at less than 90 degrees. That's why my handle is up and the tip of the tool is down. That cutting edge needs to be less than 90 degrees in relation to the material. So now I'm gonna tilt this up so I get more of that burr in contact and get a really nice shear. Really nice shear cut. And I just dropped all those angel hairs, but it was very, very fine cut. Ah, yes. Very nice. All right, digging it. Okay, so that one's ready to finish. Yeah. And then this dude. What was I gonna do with this guy? I was just gonna sand that, right? Okay, so that one. Bummer I got 3 out of 6 that time, but that's okay. You say it happens. And we are at, 9 o'clock. All right, cool. I think, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's see, how about we do, is that the one I wanted? I'm looking for a particular urchin shell because I think I want to turn another urchin ornament. So bear with me. I'm going to walk away because I think I may have taken it inside with the finished one that I turned last night. So let's take a gander here. Aha, there it is. I wanted to get this one knocked out because it's cherry. These are fragile shells. And let's see, is that, yeah, there we go. And this part was already broken out. I stabilized it with expanding foam on the inside. But I want to do this one now so I can make the cap. It needs to cover that. And I can look over. Let's see, I did cedar last night. I don't know, that might be okay. That's a big honking piece. Let's see. I think I put some pieces that were just a wee bit large for what I needed here. Actually, that one's a wee bit small, so not you. So I think I'll grab this piece of cherry back here after I get these excess tools in a safer spot. Safer for them and for me. Okay. So I've got, let's see, where's that guy? Got this. What is this? It looks like it might be ash. And I've got some different stock that I'm going through real quick that, oh, that would look nice, I bet. Okay, I'm going to go with this piece. I'm not sure if this is honey locust or black locust, but when I start cutting into it, we'll find out. It does have some really, really nice curl to it. Maybe I'll save this for a larger urchin. Maybe that would make more sense, because these are on the lower end of price. Not that they shouldn't look good. Of course they should look good. There's a really nice piece of cherry. That'll do. What else I got? All right, we'll work with this. Do have a really nice piece of cherry here, though, very straight grained, so that will, or almost, you know, I mean, it's really close. So this will make a really, really nice finial and cap, so we'll use that. Oh, I forgot to cover my keyboard with this little cloth here. And while I'm at it, what does it look like? Is it because of the LED light? Oh, there was a little bit of dust on the camera. Okay. There we go. Let's go between centers with this guy. And I was going to work with Jim Scarcella is a member of our club here, and he's been turning for a number of years. He's a turner artist. Anyway, he did a demo for our club last club meeting where he did demonstration on finials, but he used an urchin ornament as the backdrop of that, I guess would be, maybe that's the way to put it. And he does his urchin finials in 3 pieces. And I normally do it in 2. So I was kind of playing around with the idea and figured, you know what, I'll do another. Let me see if I've got, I might have a little small piece of cherry that I can just, got a bunch of pieces of this stuff just laying around. That's maple. Because I'm a wood hoarder, you see. I don't know that that will be wide enough. Nope. Okay, how about here? What's this guy? Poplar. Okay. Sorry, folks, bear with me. I think I've got. I'm trying to make as much use out of that piece that's on the lathe there before you as I possibly can. And if I can make the collar out of another piece of cherry, like maybe this guy. Nope, that's not cherry, that's beech. Tra-la-la-la-la. All right, one more place to look, and then I will give up on that endeavor and work with what I've got. I'm pretty sure I might have the stray piece of cherry that is just the right size for a collar. There's a piece of cherry, that might work. That's not cherry, that is more beech. All right, let's take a look at this guy. I think that might be the right size. My size close enough to use. I don't see, let's see, that is maple. That is oak, that's not gonna work. What are you? You are maple burl, so no. All right, let's go with this guy. Let's take a look. with the urchin and make sure it's going to cover. Okay, so it's just the right size. So that works. So we'll turn the collar from this piece of cherry. I'll do the rest here. I think I should probably go ahead and turn the collar first. And let's say that that looks suspiciously like the center there. Get as close to it as I can. Looks really close because I got that center on that side, so we're good there. Oops. Go back to your home, thank you. So we'll do that first. Get my collar shape. Yikes. Missed my center, there it is. Okay, so about that big. So making a little bit of a tenon here to fit right inside there. It's okay if I got a little bit of tenon on the inside, and it'll help center everything nicely. That is, wow, yeah, I don't think I could have gotten any better. Let's get rid of some of this foam. It seems to be getting in the way. Do my best not to bung up the shell because it is so delicate. I think I'm hitting part of the shell somewhere in there. All right, now let's fit that. It's just a shade tight, so I'll take a little bit more off there, and that will be my tenon to help center things up on the inside there. A lot of urchins don't have a hole right there, right? You have to make your own. This piece is broken out, but I was able to use a rat tail file to make a round hole that's fairly close to center. I'll have to probably do a little manipulation to make sure it's dead center because I need it to run through the center since both of the, well, all three pieces will be joined together by a dowel going through the wood, and this will be just kind of held in place by the wood, but not any compression or any, it won't be glued to it, anything like that. Let's move that aside. You know, just for funsies, since I was right there, let's just double check before I get too far. Okay, that'll do. Nice. So now I need to make my curve match this curve in. And shallow up to like right there. So let's see how that looks, because we want it to sit. So I'll take this down a little bit. Let's get it, the foam is kind of, let's see if I can get some more out of the center of this thing. The foam just needs to be in the shell, not in the middle here. And let's get this guy. Dig some of that out. All right. Try that again. So I'm gonna need to, well, that might be all right. No, I'm gonna, well, shoot, let's see. I'm touching the shell all the way around, so this is the right curve. Let me round this off and see if we can get a slightly better fit. It's going to cover up that damage. And this does not need to be so long. I am going to wind up drilling that out. Okay, I need to take the curve down just a little bit more. The curve is a little too pronounced this time. There we go. That's the best fit I'm going to get. And that looks good. And it's got a good, so everything's centered. We're all set there. I'll need to manipulate the center for this guy when we get to that point, but let's finish this collar. Actually, I think what I want to do is drill it first. So I set myself up for pin jaws, but I'm also making the shape of the collar where I can from this side. And let's throw just a little bit. Abrasive on that part there. Now we drill. Set that aside. Oh man, this might be a little bit of an issue. I'm having issues with this particular chuck. It feels like it's wearing out. It is, geez, 8 or 9 years old, and it was on the lower end of the mid-range in price for chucks. It was a great starter chuck, no doubt. They're still available pretty reasonably, I think. I may pick up another one just because it's nice to have more than one of a set of jaws. Like, I'd love to have 2 Vic marks so I didn't have to change the jaws so often. But those are a little bit spendier than these. That's probably not true. Let's move it. Oh, too far. It's closer. Move this down just a bit. Let's try that. No, you are not working with me. All right. Now, since nobody's going to see that part, now she's running true. Let's move the elbow poker guy out of the way. Far too low. So somewhere in that neighborhood right there. So I'm just gonna bore it out real quick with my my spindle gauge. Well, it may actually be a little high with my tool rest. Nope, it appears I'm dead on. Very cool. So let's see, I'm gonna widen that a bit. I think that'll be deep enough. So widen that up just a bit. Maybe even more. Let's grab the box scraper. And that'll make quicker work of it. I think that'll do. What I'm doing is I'm sizing the hole to accept a tenon off the bottom piece to go through there. At the same time, making it big enough that I can actually grab the tenon in these jaws, in these pin jaws, later on, and then able to finish the finial without, having it between centers and all that kind of stuff. I'll have a good grip on it. In theory. So hopefully here in expansion mode, I've got enough material there, I think. I just don't know if the hole's also wide enough. Oh, just barely. Okay. So that will put me up above, which is not what I want. Let's see, how else do I want to hold this? Well, there is only one other way. If it will actually sit in the middle, let's see here. Maybe too small for these jaws. Nope. Just the right size. I'll be operating with the chuck at its most stable, almost all the way closed. Let's bring you out just a bit right there. I think that'll be really close. Yep, cool. Cool, man. All right. Now I can make the shape I need to make. So I need to get rid of all this mass to get down to where I need to make my cup, if you will, because I want the bottom finial to be kind of inset. So that looks like this. And my ball end of that, in theory anyway, will fit down in that cup and help keep things centered. So there we have that. Groovy. Okay, so that's the collar. And the collar fits right in here like this. So that will keep the bottom finial centered. And then when I get to this point, I can fine tune my center for the cap. But this will help keep everything centered. And that gives me plenty of room to make design. So back to turning between centers here. Let's see. Let's move you over there. Move that key over there. Drive center, live center. Nope, I was going this way. I suppose I should grab my skew for this. Make it go a little bit faster. Always a good time to practice skew work, right? Let's go with this guy today. I think I'll need to hone this one a little bit. Looks like I had just by looking at the light, just the tiniest burr on it. Groovy. Backwards. Also part of the getting used to having, you know, if there's no grinder available, to be able to hone what tools I can hone. So my tool rest is a little low there. Okay, let's see. I don't recall which direction this wood wants me to turn it, so we're going to find out. Well, that feels like that's the right direction. Cherry's just nice to turn. One of those nice woods. Alright, so I need to make my... Let's see, let's give myself... that should be enough right there. So I'm making my tenon, it's got to go through that cup. And I'm looking for a decent fit. It doesn't need to be super tight, but I do want it, you know, not just sloppy in there. But that's my gig, and I think that's not quite small enough. There are, I'm sure, many ways to do this. I'm practicing this one just because, well, it's what I do. When I see someone, I love watching people turn as much as, well, actually I like turning more, but I enjoy watching people turn and watching their process and seeing, you know, practicing it afterwards a couple times, seeing what I can glean from it personally. And even, you know, how does it affect like my turning style? Can I add to my toolkit? What can I do here? Yeah, we'll go with this guy. I think that's about right. I just want to double check. I don't want to take it down too far, and my skew just wasn't going to do it. Oh yeah, that's right on. Man, another lucky shot. Nope, that's not going to make it. And I don't need anything like that. That's done. Let's move this guy aside so we don't lose it. And now I need to make my ball end there. That might be too big still. Let's see, I think I will take this guy, wrong point, to there. It might not be enough of a finial. I just want some point to start from so that I can get an even diameter here. That probably isn't going to be long enough. See if that is going to be small enough yet. Nope, still got a ways to go. Okay. So with this cherry, I should be able to hog off quite a bit pretty quickly here. Now let's see how close we are. Closer. Ever closer. Let's see, that's not quite right. That should be about right. Let's see how that fits in there. Oop, that's a little bit tight right there. All right. So my tenon is just a shade large. And I wonder how much of it is that edge right there. But not much time to take it right down to size. All right, so I need to bring the diameter down more. But the curve is about right. Right there, so something like that, I think. Yeah, I can see it definitely, the timber wants to be turned the other, there we go, wants to be turned the other direction. That's a fit I was after. All right, so I need to refine my ball end here. See how that looks. Do I want to take the ball down any further? No, I think that's good. I think we'll leave it where it's at. All right, so that bit is done. Okay, riddle me this. What are we turning into? First of all, let's set our taper. We can work from there. A little bit more. Okay, now this I can actually cut off and put in the pin jaws, and I won't have that. That is a nice length too. I can put it in the pin jaws on this tenon after I drill the 1/8 inch hole, Dave. So let's see, how do I want to think? I think we'll take this down a little bit more just to have less mass to deal with when we get this flipped around. And I think what I'm also going to do I don't need that much, so just that. Probably cut that too far at this point in the game, but I just need to drill a 1/8 inch hole, so I put that in the chuck. I don't need to be between centers anymore. Well, I'll need to leave my live center nearby. But in the meantime, it does not need to be an elbow poker guy. What are we doing on time? 9:30. I am quite curious. See who might be joining me in chat. No, that's not what I want. No, we just want chat. Just a quick break, man. Let's see, I need to go here. So it's just me and the Coffee Stream Bot moderator. Yeah, that's all right. Coffee Stream Bot moderator likes to watch woodturning and would like to learn a little bit about it also, so that works for me. Hey, since I'm taking a quick break, let me go ahead and drop my website in chat. There, so that's a link to my website. If you would like to do your Christmas shopping a little bit early, some wonderful pieces there. I also have some in Twisted Fish Gallery and Crooked Tree Gallery. I will have pieces in the holiday markets for Charlevoix, Circle of Arts, Crooked Tree Gallery. Yeah, and that's it. I might have a few pieces at Twisted Fish, it depends. I need to have the chuck, this guy. So I invite you to check out my website, man. I need to do a little updating on it, but I just need to add some pieces to the site and to the Twitch turning store, which I have started. All the pieces that I turn here live will wind up in the that's not working for me. Will wind up in the online Twitch, my online store for my Twitch channel, which is on my website. Okay, that is not working at all. So let's, oh, that's because that side was not straight to begin with. This might help a bit. Not that guy, because you're not tight enough. Okay. Let's not break that off. Let me bring this out just a bit. Fiddle with it a little bit to get it trued up so I can drill that hole. If I can true it up any. I got that too tight now. It's not quite right. So that side needs to go down. Let's just not run it. Let's just do this. I think I'm having some issues tonight. This is not being a friendly chuck today. This is a second of this particular chuck is a second of the two. The one that has pin jaws, I bought this second chuck. It was my first dual chuck purchase, but it lets me swap out the chuck as opposed to having to swap out jaws every time, and I find that valuable. Well, I'm just having issues here. I know what I'll do. Well, if I'm fighting it, I'm just being silly. I don't need to fight it. Do I want this one? No, I want my centers again. And we'll just true that up. And now we'll ride in the chuck straighter. And hopefully true up a lot faster also. Okay, back to this guy. Let's just see how that does. This may, with this, since this had pressure from the tailstock. You know what? That's running pretty true. Let's get it just a little bit better. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to drill that 1/8 inch hole for my dowel that goes through the urchin to connect both the finial and the cap. Did I leave my wrench up? Nope. Yeah, very good. And this hole doesn't need to be very deep. Maybe 1/2 inch. Just remember to keep clearing your drill bit, the flutes in your drill bit, so it doesn't get bound up in your timber there. Maybe snap and break off, maybe, I don't know, lots of things, maybe. What do I do with the saw? There's the saw. So I left myself this for the pin jaws, right? But I left this a little bit here so I could bring the tailstock up and give it just a little bit more support while I whittle this down. For this guy though, we're going to create the tenon that goes into the top of the urchin. And that should be about 3/8. Squeak! So we'll just peel down to somewhere in that neighborhood. And sneak up on the fit. Too much. Still a little too big, I imagine. Oh, just barely, though. All right, we don't want to force it because that shell is fragile, so hopefully that's enough. Yep, now I need to match this curve on top. So we will do that with my 1/4 inch skew, since I can get into a little bit tighter space with it. See that sits right on there. Okay, I need to do a little bit more work there, I think. course, now I'm too low. I think I'll take my spindle gouge. So this diameter itself has to come down. It is too big. Okay, that looks really nice. So let's take the diameter down some. May need to adjust my curve as I go. I'll go a little bit smaller, I think. I just need to cover up this. I want to expose as much of the urchin as possible. Oh, look. Let's see, I don't have my pick handy, so... Oh, there's one. Looks like I got some beetle damage on the inside here. Huh. Well, that'll add some character. Too close. Okay, so that comes in right here. Where does it come in there? Okay, so I'm gonna take it down. I'm gonna take it down just a little bit more. Well, no, wait. Let's think about this. What's that diameter? Well, nope. I'm gonna leave it. So let's adjust the curve. I am going to have to drill for the 1/8 inch dowel, so I'll do that next. After I fit this urchin onto this guy. There we go. Okay, that is a nice, that matches that curve really nicely. So we'll round that over. That might be too much, but maybe not. Let's take a look here. No, that'll work. That'll work. Okay, let's drill that 1/8 inch hole. Since we're on the side to do that with, whoops. Aha, you're just a funny guy. and broke off a bit. Let's get that hole opened up there. Now I will be drilling with a 1/16 inch bit from the other side for the string, the hanger. Can I leave it that way? Nah, just go for the pin jaws. Okay. I don't know what dropped, but I will find you. Alright, so I'll grab this little tenon dude. That's right, if it gets marked up, it's not going to be seen unless the ornament is broken. I'm also going to bring up a tailstock for this guy because that's a lot of mass I want to get rid of. And I'd like to get rid of it fairly quickly. So, the timber, she needs some support. Yep, too high for that guy. Hey, that rhymed. Too high for that guy. Yeah, nice. That'll work. So now I got to match the outer curve. It's a little too steep. There we go. Now, if I'm not too aggressive, should be able to work with this just fine. I feel like this is too high. There we go. Got to remember that I've only got, that's not tight enough. That's why I really think I've got to swap this. I got to buy a new chuck. This guy just does not do the job anymore. But it's had a good life, man. It's done a lot of good for me. I just get slightly annoyed, I suppose, when I don't have the tools that I need. I can make do with this, not a big deal. It's really not a big deal, but it's a little disappointing that this particular chuck doesn't have the greatest lifespan, but again, it is on the lower end of median price. So what? 6 years, 7 years. Not too bad. Get set up for my 16th inch drill bit. And hey, what the heck, let's do that right now. Since I have my tool rest handy. So this I want to drill all the way through. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. No, I don't. I don't need to drill it all the way through. I just need to have some decent depth because I'm going to plug that with a bit of tapered toothpick. When the hanger's in place, I will plug that off with a bit of tapered toothpick, and once the finish is on, it really won't show, and it won't show that much either with color difference because it'll be right in the center of where the hanger goes. So I think that'll kind of camouflage that pretty well. See if I can get this in the right shape. There we go. Try to get my abrasive to conform to the shape that I'm sanding. Yeah, liking that. This is coming out very nice, this cap. There we go, so that guy's done. And he will fit, whoa, don't you go anywhere, right in there like that. And it does match the curve, so that works for me. It looks like it's really close to center already, so when I finally put this thing together, I shouldn't have to do any serious adjustments. Okay, let's see. Let's put this guy in here. We'll bring up the tailstock and take some more mass away from this. And to be honest, I want it running true before I ever get tailstock on it. Just double checking it was running true after tightening. Because the wood can sometimes shift in your jaws too. If like one part of it is a little softer than another, the jaw just digs right into it. It can kind of tilt things for you. Did there a little bit actually. Tightening that one jaw. Let's tighten them again. This is, gotta be careful with this particular chuck, I guess. There we go. Let's try that. Cool, running true. I got my center. Do I have my center point? I can't remember. I do not. Let's make one. So that my live center point goes right into the center there, just like that. Not going to go too deep because I do want to try to use as much of this bit as possible as well. All right, darling, I know you wanted to be turned this way, but that's not going to work. So since this is sherry, I can make this finial a little thinner, make it look a little bit more delicate. I did one out of white cedar last night. Had to leave it a little bit thick because, well, white cedar is a softer wood, and with human contact, it might snap a little bit easier if it was thinner. You keep switching between points because I can reach different spots depending on which point I've got up here. You can use, my recommendation is, especially for new folks learning to use a skew, is that whichever point you're using, either the heel or the toe, the one out front, the one behind, you don't want to go any further than the halfway point from the point to the halfway point. Whichever point you're using, just keep it below half. You're using half the tool until you get some practice and some more confidence with this, because these 2 points, you don't want them both to touch at the same time, and they're always trying to meet. I may make a little bit of joke out of it, but I mean, that's just the way it is. If you get both points touching, it's going to be a catch. It could be a catastrophic design change. And so especially when you're learning with the skew, whatever point you are using, be it the heel or the toe, you don't want to cut any higher up the cutting edge than halfway. So if I was turning this way, it would be up to that halfway point. If I was using that point, it would be up to the same halfway point. But you can see my handle needs to change its position a little bit more. I'm getting really close to the diameter I want to start working from. I think that'll work. All right, so now I'm going to work backwards from most vibration to least. I want to get rid of the tailstock. I don't like putting points on the ends of my finials for like holiday ornaments. Because I don't want anybody to get hurt, accidentally stuck with it or whatever. And, if it's a point, it's just another really fine detail that has a chance of breaking off. So this guy gets to be an egg. And let's see, I think we'll make this a bead. There, now it's a round bead. Now this has to come down, so let's go with this guy. I'm working from this side. Yeah, just a preference today. Doesn't matter, I could do it this way. I just feel with this smaller tool, I got a little bit better control from right here. So my fingers are just riding against the timber. They're not pushing against it. I'm not trying to slow it down. I'm just trying to dampen whatever vibration might be introduced with the tool while it's spinning. They're really anchored to the tool rest here and just slightly touching. My thumb is just following along with the tool, only to keep pressure on the tool against the tool rest. It's not moving anything. My body, my body mechanics are actually moving the tool. I don't really need to have the hand there, right? But it is definitely allowing me just a tad bit more control. And I want just a tad bit more control. Let's see, let's take it down just a little bit more. Just somewhere right in there. And then I will clean this up with the spindle gouge. That gives me that little bit of curve I want. Right at the end of the finial there. Let's see, so let's make this then, whoopsie daisy, I killed my own lathe. Let's make this little detail a little more pronounced. Just like that, doesn't take much. Let's just adjust the curve just a bit. There we go. Now I can work down to that. Right there. Now I'm going to switch to the larger skew. And then right in here, let's see, let me think about this. I think I'm going to want an onion. You know, I'll put a sphere right in there. I think it will look good right here. There we go. Let's see now. That means that I will probably want to add just a little bit of curve here. Just a little subtle bit of curve. There we go. And then round this off just a little bit. Like that. Now let's work our way down to this guy. Need to clean that sphere up a bit. There we go. So that's a little too pronounced, but I think if I throw just a tad bit of curve there, that'll come out looking pretty nice. Now for the rest. Let's see. I think I want to throw, I think I'll throw a little bit. Well, let me see. I might be able to do this whole bit as an onion. Or I could do that. Well, that's too much detail. All right. Is that still too wide? Maybe. Perfect. And then I will, let's make this look like kind of a scepter. Cool. That works for me. Cool. And working with a skew is, I don't know, man. I think it's like, it's definitely fun for me. I had my bumps and hiccups when I first started, but I didn't have anybody telling me how to use a skew. tried to follow along on YouTube and had, I mean, certain things were not explained properly, like the angle, you know, what your skew bevels should be ground at, how you address the bevel and the tool to the material that you're turning. There was just a lot that I wasn't getting. Although I will say, some Richard Raffin, one of Richard Raffin's books, and I can't remember the title of it. One of his earlier ones. It does a lot of skew, covers a lot of skew information in there, and some of his YouTube videos too. Those helped a little bit. Some of the stuff that I gleaned from Richard Raffin was something I had found on my own through trial and error, but some of it was not. And that opened up the possibility to a lot of more things for me, realizing that the skew actually really is a fairly versatile tool. There's several different cuts you can make with it, not to mention the fact that, come on now, let's see, let's not make that too sharp right there. V-cuts, straight cuts, peeling cuts, planing cuts, shear scraping you can do with a skew, scraping you can do with a skew. But anyway, once I, you know, got my feet wet, and it's me, I'm always trying to figure out, you know, what I can do with tools I've got. What other groovy things they might be capable of. And I kind of actually also stumbled onto, well, Richard Raffin called it back hollowing. And the back hollowing that he was showing was just a couple of passes to open up a scoop or a bowl or a cup or whatever to be able to get a scraper in there, a box scraper, you know, round nose scraper, and really hog stuff off. A heavy scraper for, you know, production, right? And most of the time, that's all I've ever seen anybody use that for. And I got to thinking, well, shit. I mean, if you can open up that partially, can you open it up all the way? And turns out you can hollow with a spindle gouge using top cutting, which I learned from Laurent Leclos, who is definitely an up-and-coming turner. He's already making the circuit, teaching circuit and all that. Married to Trent Bosch's daughter, Kaylee. But in talking to him, he didn't understand what backhauling was. He'd never heard of it before. But when I explained the process, he said, "Oh, we call that top cutting." I said, "Okay." So where you're from determines some of these names for cuts and stuff like that, which, you know, makes sense. I just thought it was all called back hollowing because you're doing it backwards from a regular bowl. But I can also see their point. It's top cutting because you're actually cutting the top of the surface that you're opening up or hollowing out, not the bottom side surface. I'm 180 degrees away from where you would normally hollow or turn a bowl from, and on the inside. So spindle gouge is very versatile also. And I just keep plugging away, man. I mean, you know, the tools like the skew, the Badan, which I believe the Badan was a French invention. Not 100% clear on that, but I think so. I do believe that most people who turn with Badans are French turners. But the Badan is also, I think it's like a takeoff of, well, maybe the beading and parting tool is a takeoff of the Badan. So that's a nice shape. I'm liking that. Very, very cool. And the skew, so tools tend, yes, there we go. So I'll also need to line all the grains up, which won't be tough. And that's what she is. So I'll do that now. I've got a piece of, I bought a package of bamboo skewers. I'm pretty sure I left it right here. There we go. Because they make, well, I mean, for skewers, obviously, but they make beautiful. They're generally 1/8 of an inch in diameter, so they make beautiful dowels. And a bag of bamboo skewers is cheaper than buying a bunch of 1/8 inch dowels. All right, so we're gonna glue this dude into place. Before I start, we'll just make sure. I think I will just taper it a little bit. This one, this end, well, let's check this end. Yeah, they fit about the same. So this one is really close to 1/8 of an inch. It's not quite there, but they're all in that area in the bag, right? It's just a minor alteration, if needed, to take it to the diameter that you need. Let's get rid of that corner. There we go. That glue bottle's starting to get empty. So I just put a little dollop of glue there. And run that dowel in there. That ain't going anywhere. Don't really need to get rid of this glue, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. It's all going to be on the inside. I need to cut now. Let's see how short I need to cut this dude. So like right there. And since it's bamboo is a fairly straight grained, I mean, it's a grass, right? It grows fairly straight grained. At least between the nodes, I believe. And then, it snaps off really easy. That will be going up into here when I get everything fit together, which we'll do now. And make sure that I'm all centered up, because nope, just a tad bit off. But that's easy to fix. Let's grab the rat tail. You're in here somewhere. Did I leave you out? Oh no, there you are. It's a little 1/4 inch rat tail, and I'm just gonna gently widen the hole, making downstrokes so that the shell that I'm pushing at is being supported from underneath by the spray foam. Shouldn't take a whole lot. It wasn't that far off. That looks much, much better. There we go. All right, so now I can glue that together. So there we have the 3 pieces. Normally I will do the bottom finial in 1 piece, but this allows you, to really get things like really, really centered. And you can play with the designs a lot more than just a 2-piece. I might do this a few more times. I might do this a few more times. We'll see. It is a nice, neat little process. All right, let's line up all my grain here. Let's see, we'll say you are my bullseye, so we'll put that bullseye right there. And then where's the bullseye on this guy? Use the small one, now we'll use the big one. There we go, and that will go in together like that. Okay. So I am going to put a little bit of glue right along this bottom edge here. Not going to take much. I just want to make sure that the bottom part of this curve is making some contact with some adhesive, and it is not quite. So let's do it on this guy then. And don't need a lot. Just a little bit will do. Okay, let's line up that grain. That's good. Then I'll put a little dot of glue right in this hole, or right on it. The dowel will push it in for me, in theory. Okay, so I got my, let's see, which bullseye we're looking at. We're going to look at the large bullseye and that large bullseye. And then we just work them together, just like that. Get everything lined up. And I will let all that glue set. It's a done piece. I just need to get some fishing line and make a loop. Drop the knot down in there. Plug that with a piece of tapered toothpick and a little bit of CA glue and cut it flush. And you'll never even notice it. Never even notice it. That doesn't look quite lined up to me. Let's loosen this guy. Come on. Are we too late now? Yep. Okay. Seems the glue has already started to set. Okay, so my small bullseyes line up and the large ones line up. So there we go. Nice, nice. We'll let that dry. I'm gonna set that aside. How you doing? 10:30. Okay. All right, so I don't believe that I'm going to start another project. With half hour left on the broadcast, so I will, I'm not sure. I looked earlier, nobody else was on the broadcast with me, but if you have shown up since I've looked, this is a live and interactive broadcast, so if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the chat. And of course, any communication through comments, through chat, definitely helps the channel out by showing that there's interest, and it does work with the algorithms to get it out in front of more people. I do appreciate any help in that arena, through a high-end chat or what have you. Any questions that you have, anything that will help the channel grow, I will appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it, and please give the channel a follow. I'm going to kill that here. Whoops, all right. Turns out I did not need the compressor this evening. Okay, so back up to top. Wow, look at all that dust. Let's move that hose. And That what we want? That's what we want. Get that dust off of there. Nice. This little microfiber cloth not only keeps the, well, at least it appears to be keeping the dust off of the keypad of my laptop, although it just barely covers it. It's nice for cleaning off the lenses on the cameras. Okay, so this is all straightened up. Let's get rid of this elbow poker guy, even though I won't be here. I do not like the elbow poker guy. Another running joke that, and it's sort of a joke, not really. A lot of wood turners will have marks somewhere in this area on their elbow by running it into the tailstock accidentally. So I always try to take the live center out whenever I'm done with it, because I've run my elbow into the dang thing. And that's what I call my elbow poker guy. So I am doing my best to avoid the elbow poker guy, because it kind of hurts, man. All right, let's put this skew away. And I think I'm close to wrapping up this particular broadcast. As I said, I'm not going to start another project this late in the broadcast. I mean, I've got plenty of things that I could just throw up here, but I think I'm going to call it an evening. I see that there's nothing in chat yet, so we'll give it a few more minutes. And actually I can just check and see if anybody's here in chat with me. There's a thought. So no, it's just me and my Coffee Streambot moderator, which has been putting chats up, but I don't think that they count towards the algorithm and making the channel more accessible to more people. As well as I'm working on becoming an affiliate with Twitch, so that I can put, well, becoming an affiliate with Twitch means that I can earn a little bread while I'm doing this. So again, I appreciate any help along that arena. If you'd like to support the channel through a donation, you can go to my coffee donation page, which the links are showing up in the chat. You can certainly follow the channel. That again plays with the algorithm, and the more followers I have, the more it wants to put the broadcast out in front of more people. And of course, any messages in chat definitely help. It shows the algorithm that there is participation with the channel, and that is the premise of this channel. It's a live interactive broadcast. I'm here to turn wood, practice my demonstration teaching skills, and teach. So I appreciate y'all joining me while I'm out here. Those that you do, I'm here most Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, or whatever they're calling it now. I'm just shy of the central line, I guess. The time zone lines are just kind of weird and wonky. But anyway, Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time, 8 to 11 p.m. Year-round, in fact, even though the studio, the shop here is not heated. I can get down to fairly chilly in here and still turn. Once it gets down to 0 and negatives, it's a little bit much. Well, actually, like 10 and below, it gets to be a little bit much in here. But I spend a lot of time turning. It is my therapy. You may not have heard me talk about it before, but I started turning as therapy for PTSD. I'm a disabled vet. And I got to tell you, man, this has been one of the best therapies I've ever had experience with. I'm in the right frame of mind when I'm out here, and it's taken a lot of practice, like any therapy does. But I know now that if I can't get into the headspace, then I don't come out here, because nothing's going to work out right. and it's all me. It has nothing to do with the equipment or anything like that. It's just like with anybody else. It's just I want to be in the right frame of mind. I want to have my focus here where I'm at right now, not something that happened yesterday or 30 years ago now. None of that stuff. This is we're talking about a lump of material that's spinning around at, well, in my case, mostly 800 to 1,000 RPM, about 60 to 70 miles an hour. And, you need to be present where you're at, which is another reason why this is such great therapy, because it provides a focus, a jumping off point, so to speak, with enough practice to get your muscle memory set in, and then it becomes easier and easier to just move into, let's work with wood. Let's see what the wood is telling me. I can just flow with it, which is where I like to be, and I get to hear when I'm in the right spot. I get to hear music in my head when things are going. Where if I follow that music, everything works out just fine. So I try to keep that channel open, so to speak, to wherever that's coming from. Doesn't matter. It's I don't know, man. It's like an orchestra. It's amazing. It's not even like an orchestra. I can't describe it. But in any case, this is my therapy. I know it will work for other people. I've seen it work for other veterans as well. So I talk about it a lot. That and beekeeping is therapy, because I'm also a beekeeper with Heroes to Hives Project, which is a program that teaches veterans and their dependents how to become successful beginning beekeepers. The class is totally free to dependents of veterans and veterans. Heroes to Hives. You look it up online if you're interested in even just hanging out with a group of veterans throughout the year. Once a month we get together for on-ground classes and a little bit of fellowship, and it's a really good time. You don't have to. We're not expecting anybody to go through the entire course or even graduate or even become beekeepers. It's really just a safe space for veterans. But beekeeping is amazing therapy too. Bees are amazing animals. The hive as a superorganism is an amazing animal. They're fascinating. Anyway, I see nothing in chat, so I'm going to go ahead and call it this evening. Again, my name is Dave. I'm Woodturner. I thank you for joining me on Woodturning Wednesday. I'm here Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Twitch from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There may be more broadcasts as they come along, but if you follow the channel, you'll get those notifications, and you'll be able to tune in and not miss anything. And speaking of which, not missing anything, you can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com at Dave_Rife, and you can catch all the past broadcasts from this channel. They're stored on my YouTube channel. So you like and subscribe. You can watch anything you like. And of course, liking and subscribing helps that channel as well get out to more people. So please give it a visit. I appreciate that too. There's quite a few broadcasts in there. In general, they're about 3 hours long. Some are a little bit longer, depending if I stayed long or not. But anyway, you get the picture. Having said all that, I hope you stay friendly. Thanks again for joining me on Woodturning Wednesday. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend coming up. It looks like, at least up here, the weather's going to warm up a little bit to somewhere in the 70s, which is still bizarre for the middle of October, but hey, I'll take it. I'll see you next time, hopefully Tuesday and or Wednesday next week. Just follow along. Anytime you have questions, put them in chat, comments, anything like that. Even a nice hello would help. It would help the whole algorithm thing, and again, help build the channel. I'm always trying to make better content, have the equipment updated. I'm now realize that I really need to work on lighting here. These LED lights just aren't cutting it. They just, as you can see, it looks like at least what I'm seeing on my laptop, it looks like the picture's kind of blurry and hazy, and it's these LED lights, man. They just aren't conducive, I think, to even though they say they're quote unquote natural lighting. I can't agree. So this is an incandescent bulb that is now shining on me. Regular incandescent bulb. 100 and I think it's a 100-watt heat lamp. But you know what? It's just a regular incandescent bulb, and the picture is much better with that. I just don't have enough light with that to be able to turn in the dark without the extra light that I have overhead. But again, it's lighting I need to work on so that it doesn't wash everything out and you can see things more clearly. I'm always working on improving the channel, and I appreciate your help along the way. So please follow, please throw stuff in chat. Let's help get this channel a lot more exposure, and that will open up a few more avenues for me in this channel to improve it. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much, folks, and I'll see you next time.